News just coming in. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister E. Palaniswamy is expected to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a short while from now. This will be the first meeting between the new Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Tamil Trust vote and the Kaveri issue could figure prominently as the two leaders meet. But what we are also being told that E. Palaniswamy also wants to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi once again on Monday to urge him to exempt Tamil Nadu from the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test or NEET. Tamil students had held widespread protests against NEET, fearing that the state board students would find it difficult to crack the test that would be based on the Central Board of Secondary Education syllabus. Now, NEET is an eligibility cum ranking system that's prescribed as the single entrance test for admission to various MD, MS and PG diploma courses. India Today's Akshaya Nath joins me for more on this story. Akshaya, the Prime Minister, was at Coimbatore. That 112-foot tall statue of Adi Guru Lord Shiv was unveiled. But beyond that, tell us about the political developments when E. Palaniswamy meets Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Akshay, if you can hear me, what's on agenda when Prime Minister Narendra Modi and E. Palaniswamy meet?
Well, Gaurav, it seems that this is the first meeting that the new Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu is having with the Prime Minister of the country. And it is a very interesting scenario because there are various issues that has to be discussed, right from the Kaveri water crisis to the Jallikattu issue, because we're seeing that Jallikattu is an issue that is being debated even now. And there are rumors that all the animal welfare boards will be coming out with a detailed talk. And the next important thing will be about the NEET exams, which the Tamil Nadu government has been opposing for a long time. And fourthly, another important factor that will also be played out will be the issue that happened at the assembly in Tamil Nadu, or the vote of confidence that will happen. So these major issues will be discussed, and yes, the Prime Minister will be concerned about how the state is functioning right now under the new leadership, and Edappadi Palaniswamy will have the responsibility to talk to the Prime Minister and make him understand the kind of scenario that the state is facing, and this will be a very important meeting.
Keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. For the moment, Akshaya Nath, many thanks. Now, the Prime Minister unveiled the first 112-foot tall statue of Lord Shiv, of Adi Guru, Adi Yogi Lord Shiv in Coimbatore at a very impressive ceremony. There you see Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev with him. He unveiled the statue with Jaggi Vasudev. The Prime Minister addressed a huge crowd of Shiv Bhakts on Mahashivratri after unveiling the statue. He said, Mahashivratri symbolizes the union of divinity with a purpose of overcoming darkness and injustice. He also hailed the practice of yoga, saying India has given yoga as a gift to the entire world, and yoga is that catalytic agent for transformation. The Prime Minister also spoke of women empowerment, saying that the progress of humanity is incomplete without the progress of women. Let's listen in.
By practicing yoga, a spirit of oneness is created. Oneness of the mind, body, and the intellect. Oneness with our families, with the society we live in, with fellow humans, with all the birds, animals, and the trees, with whom we share our beautiful planet. This is yoga. Yoga is the journey from me to we.
There's breaking news coming in. It's a huge controversy to hit the army when it comes to compensation that's awarded to the next of kin of our soldiers. And Remember Sipahi Mandeep Singh? He was the first casualty along the line of control after the surgical strike in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. He was martyred in a strike by Pakistan's border action team of terrorists and Pakistan Army regulars on Diwali Eve. Now his family, as you see in these images, they are running from pillar to post, claiming that they are yet to receive compensation due from the government. At a time when that casualty had taken place, it was before elections in Punjab, and politicians made several promises to them. Those promises remain unfulfilled. Disappointed, the martyr's widow and relatives have now approached the Prime Minister's office. They're seeking help from the Prime Minister. They've complained that despite running from pillar to post, there is absolutely no grievance redressal. The army, on its part, maintains that the military entitlement was paid to the next of the kin, that is his widow, but the army cannot be held responsible for promises that were made by politicians and not fulfilled.
नहीं, अभी तक कुछ पूरा नहीं हुआ। एक भी जो बोला था, एक भी वादा अभी तक पूरा नहीं हुआ। हमें कुछ भी हैंड ओवर नहीं हुआ अब तक। सरकार ने 50 लाख रुपए एक सरकारी जॉब और फैमिली को जो भी हो सकेगा सरकार की तरफ से, मतलब जो हर संभव कोशिश होगी वो मतलब पूरी की जाएगी उसको।
Mandeep Singh's case is very unique and very extraordinary because he was the first casualty after the surgical strikes. Pakistan launched a massive offensive on the border. Mandeep Singh took the bullets, his body was mutilated. It was indeed a national insult. Today we've had this silent walk till the Honorable Prime Minister's office with a
India Today's Anandya Banerjee now joins me for more on the story. Anandya, what's the army saying and what are the promises that remain unfulfilled to the next of kin and to the relatives?
Well, Gaurav, to begin with, there are 4 demands. One is that 50 lakh of rupees to be paid to the family. Another is promotion for the wife of Mandeep Singh who made the supreme sacrifice. Another is job for the brother of Mandeep Singh, and the last being a gas station for the family. But the family says that none of them are being fulfilled. And these are not demands, Gaurav, let me reiterate. These are promises made during the funeral of Mandeep Singh after he made the supreme sacrifice in Machal sector. But having said that, Army on its part is maintaining that they have distributed the entire entitlement to the next of kin, but the lawyer for the family is saying that it hasn't been, not even a single penny has been paid. The rest, the other 3 demands are the more or less political assurances given during the funeral, and the army has nothing to do with it. But having said that, why is this so significant, Gaurav, is the reason because this is the first casualty after the much talked about surgical strike in Machal sector.
That our netas make.
I was there in Machal sector after the day of Diwali. We drove from Kupwara up till the LOC, and I've seen the sentiments of his comrades. They're seething with anger. They are ready for a revenge. And here we have the family of that person 4 months down the line, walking, running from pillar to post.
It is so disappointing. So disappointing. Promises made have to be fulfilled, and our netas should realize that the promises they make, they have to be fulfilled. Keep tracking that story, Anandya. I'll come back to you for more. But now I want to shift to the other shocker. And this one comes from former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah, who's been quoted saying, youth in Kashmir are making sacrifices for freedom of their land. These are not sacrifices made to become MLAs or MPs, but in the path of Allah for the freedom of Kashmir. He hit out at the army chief's statement cautioning youth to stay away from stone pelting and anti-terrorist operations. That is what General Bipin Rawat had said. But Farooq Abdullah says youth of this generation are not scared of threats or guns. Shujaul Haq gets us this report.
आज अगर इन सन बच कुर्बानी दिवान छु तुम चाहे एमएलए बनूं या एमपी बनूं या मिनिस्टर बनूं तुम कुर्बानी दिवान असदियो बनूं हक तुम तो अपना हर कांच जिंदगी टट कांच में मरूं चाहन मगर यमो वाद कोर्मुत खुदायस బంధువుకంచును కూర్చాను Iskon dramuchu iskarav hase yeme mulkuchu azadi karav hase
As our soldiers died defending our nation, Pakistan's political advocates step forward, batting for peace with the enemy. Those who slammed the army chief for issuing an ultimatum to the stone pelters and attacked the Mufti government for daring to join forces with PM Modi.
गोली का जवाब गोली से नहीं हो सकता ये जो ये बात करते हैं कि गोली का जवाब गोली से होगा उससे और ये भड़केगा और उम्मीद करनी चाहिए कि हिंदुस्तान और पाकिस्तान बातचीत के मामले में आएंगे और बातचीत का एक नया रोल शुरू होगा जो आजकल की हुकूमत है उन्होंने जो वादा लोगों से किया था कि हम उन जमातों को जो फिरका परस्त जमात हैं उनके साथ नई माहिदा करेंगे मुफ्ती साहब ने पहले ही माहिदा उनके साथ कर लिया ये लोग बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे
It's been a week since the army chief sounded warning to stone pelters and anti-national elements in the valley.
As we are conducting operations against them, we find that the local population somehow is not becoming supportive of the actions of the security forces. That people who have picked up arms, and these are the local boys, if they want to continue with this acts of terrorism, displaying flags of ISIS and Pakistan, then we will treat them as anti-national elements.
As dirty politics rears its head, it's Kashmir that loses it. It's India that bleeds.
केंद्र के सरकार के दावे या रियासती सरकार के दावे कि हम किसी भी कीमत पे इन्फ्लिट्रेशन को बढ़ने नहीं देंगे लेकिन वो सारे दावे जो हैं वो खोखले साबित यहाँ पे हुए.
The tragic episode where 3 Jawans have lost their lives and 5 have been injured, and we, strongly feel that government is to blame for this.
Former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir and the Chief of National Conference, Dr. Farooq Abdullah, today quoted controversy. While speaking at a function in Srinagar, he talked about the youngsters who are picking up guns and becoming militants. He said that these boys were not after jobs and powerful positions, but they have an issue which needs to be resolved. While a lot of people are saying that this is a shift from what these mainstream political parties have been saying earlier, many are saying that this is only political gimmick which is being played out here just ahead of the parliamentary elections that are scheduled to happen for 2 seats in the valley. With cameraman Roof, Shujaul Haq in Srinagar for India Today.
Farooq Abdullah and people not just in Jammu and Kashmir but across the country would do well to look at the images we are about to get you. The terror squad, the Burhan Wani squad of a terrorist organization called the Hizbul Mujahideen. Look at the weapons they are armed with. Rocket propelled grenades, light machine guns, rocket launchers, assault rifles. In the path of Allah is what he said. For freedom of Kashmir is what he said. Forgets about Pakistan sponsored terror. Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu gets us this report. The terrorists responsible for the dastardly Shopia ambush, Hizbul Mujahideen's gun-wielding Burhan Wani squad, caught on camera in North Kashmir, dressed in a firan and military fatigues, armed with rocket launchers, light machine guns and assault rifles. This is the true face of terror, responsible for Wednesday's Shopia terror strike. The men who plotted and executed the attack on an army convoy, killing 3 braves and an elderly woman in the terror strike. After the terror attack, Hizbul Mujahideen spokesperson Burhanuddin called a Kashmir-based news agency and claimed responsibility. He hailed the Hizbul Mujahideen Burhan squad for the attack. On the 5th of February, Hizbul Mujahideen chief Syed Salahuddin addressed a rally in Rawalpindi, exposing Pakistan's sham crackdown on Hafiz Saeed and other terrorists. Terror chief Salahuddin sought the support of Pakistan to bleed India in Kashmir.
अल्लाह जिहाद के बरकत से ही हिंदू साम्राज्य कश्मीर से निकलने पर मजबूर होगा। जरूरत इस बात की है कि पाकिस्तान की 18 करोड़ अवाम और पाकिस्तान की क़यादत विद नेशनल कंसेंसस इत्तेफाकी राय से यकसुई के साथ निहत्ते कश्मीर के पुष्ट पर खड़ा होकर पुष्टिबानी करे।
डिमोनेटाइजेशन के बाद बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर पहले 15-20-30 दिन स्टोन पेल्टिंग, ग्रेनेड थ्रोइंग, पेट्रोल बम थ्रोइंग सारे के सारे तकरीबन समाप्त हो गए थे। अभी जो दोबारा शुरू हो गए इससे साफ तौर पे नजर आता है कि जो पैसे की कमी थी वो किसी ना किसी तरीके से पूरी हो गई है।
Security agencies believe there are 400 terrorists in the valley and at least half of them are Pakistanis. As the snow melts, Kashmir could be headed towards another summer of unrest.
Pakistan's doublespeak on terrorism exposed in number of times. Their policy is quite clear, especially against India. They have given a free run to terror masterminds, be it Hafiz Saeed, Syed Salahuddin or Maulana Masood Azhar. But even Pakistan is now feeling the heat and is willing to act. But perhaps it's too late, and that is why Pakistan is bearing the brunt of terrorism. With camera person Rajiv Srivastav, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Delhi for India Today.
India Today's Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu and Shiv Arora, editor, Strategic Affairs, joins us for more on the story. Kamal, a summer of discontent is looming large. Explain what your sources are telling you about this video and more about what's in store.
Gaurav, we've been able to actually gather a number and series of these videos which are coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. The worrying sign is there is an increase in militancy, there is an increase in local boys joining militant ranks. And now that is being taken care of. We've seen more number of encounters. It also means if there is a spike in militant encounter, it also means there are more kills even as far as security forces are concerned. Now, yes, the videos are very clear that local boys are picking up guns. But what is also making it extremely difficult is the fact that the stone pelters are also making job difficult for security forces. Now, they have one sort of strategy which also deals with that. But the fact is that there is a continuous support. And remember, after two major steps taken by the Modi government, which is the demonetization and the surgical strike, we see there is a spike in militancy yet again. That means there has been a short gap which has been filled by the Pakistan ISI agencies, as well as they have maneuvered around a certain area so that they can actually pump in money, and obviously
and there's a spike in these terror attacks which is very significant at this stage. And I want to bring in editor Shiv Arora for more on this. Shiv, explain the spike and also the fact that these terrorists are now using assault rifles, RPGs. They're also using other weapons which are area weapons. How do they have access to these kinds of weapons, Shiv?
Well, this video that's been accessed by India Today's Kamaljeet Sandhu indicates that these terrorists are probably not very far from the site of the attack itself. It's an undisclosed location, but they are believed to be responsible for the Shopian attack, in which 3 Indian Army Jawans and 1 civilian was killed in that particular attack on the 23rd of February. But Gaurav, you know what this video also indicates? You can see in this video that these terrorists in full view being filming themselves, probably for propaganda purposes, believed to be part of that Burhan squad of the Hizbul Mujahideen. Okay. Carrying a light machine gun, carrying a rocket launcher, very, very well armed, almost a section strength of terrorists believed to be responsible for the Shopian attack. Also a very, very explicit indicator of what intelligence agencies are warning could be, up ahead this summer. Remember that the winter has been tough on the terrorist groups. They haven't been able to effect many attacks.
Absolutely, and there's reason to be alarmed. And there is a war that's being waged on India by Pakistan, not just in Jammu and Kashmir. Almost 4 months after 150 people were killed in a train tragedy in Kanpur, now Prime Minister Narendra Modi has hinted at Pakistan's role in that tragedy. Addressing a rally in Gonda in Uttar Pradesh, the Prime Minister said investigators had found men from Nepal involved in the mishap and the conspiracy was hatched across the border. Let's listen in.
भ्रष्टाचार और काले धन के खिलाफ अभी कानपुर में रेल अकस्मात हुआ, उसमें कुछ लोग पकड़े गए हैं, सैकड़ों लोग मारे गए और वो अकस्मात से नहीं, पुलिस ने जो खोज करके निकाला है एक षड्यंत्र के तहत हुआ है। और षड्यंत्र करने वाले कहां बैठे थे? सीमा के उस पार।
News just coming in. There's been a grenade attack by terrorists at a police post in Pulwama in South Kashmir. It wasn't restricted just to a grenade attack. Apparently, there's been gunfire in this area. So it's not just a hit and run tactics in Pulwama in Kashmir. It's been a stronghold of terrorists. But in this area in Pulwama, terrorists are reportedly engaging security forces. There is clear and present danger. Security forces need to be alert about the threat from across the line of control and the threat within. That is all we have time for on India First this evening. Many thanks for watching. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.